So since Sonic Frontiers won the votes by a long shot, I made my laptop suffer by recording Sonic Frontiers so I can make this review for y'all. Seriously though, the PC version of Sonic Frontiers performs pretty badly. Or maybe it's just my graphics card. Anyways, we start off the game with Eggman putting a gear into a weird stone structure to upload an AI program, and this alerts some robots to stare at Eggman menacingly, but just as Eggman thinks he's doing a successful data breach, the gear gets a mind of its own and sucks Eggman into who knows where. But that's not important right now, because now we see Sonic, Tails, and Amy flying to the Starfire Islands in search of the emeralds. But oh shit, another portal opens up and they get sucked into. We then get dropped into the first cyberspace level of the game, where we get to experience the first control set of the game. The reason I said first is because the controls in cyberspace levels are much different to the controls in the open world. So in cyberspace, you have the boost, the jump, double jump, the homing attack, stomp, the horrible drift. And I'm not sure, but I think you can also drop dash in cyberspace, but I've never tried it because I only ever used the drop dash in Sonic Mania. I'm a simple girl. And in cyberspace, the only collectibles you can get are red rings. And if you're wondering why we gotta go into the cyberspace stages, you'll find out in a bit. All I'll say is that it's optional. Anyways, when we finish the first cyberspace level, we see what tasks we completed and what rank we got. And if you want to get a good rank, you'll have to beat the mission on time, or even better, complete all the missions. And you're probably wondering, how do I know what tasks to complete in each cyberspace level, and what will completing the tasks do? Well, number 1, you'll see the tasks before you enter the levels, and 2, you'll get vault keys. You'll find out what the vault keys are for. We now see a cutscene where Sonic starts to wake up again, with Tails and Amy out of sight. We then hear a suspicious Sky voice talking to us, saying that we did the impossible by leaving cyberspace, and that we are the key. Sonic then asks if there's a way to save his friends, and the Sky voice says to collect the emeralds, destroy the Titans, and tear down the wall between dimensions. Sonic then gets ignored when he asks for more context, so he just goes with it. Also, digital girl. And now we get to experience the controls for the main part of the game. Now, the controls are mostly the same, but now they exclude the drift. Thank God. And I'm sure you're wondering, why did I say the controls were different if they're all the same? Well, that's because they are different in the way they feel. Big time. The cyberspace controls make Sonic feel like he's a fast tank with bad reflexes. Meanwhile, the open world controls are so much smoother. Here's a comparison with turning in different directions while going at a fast pace. And the turning speed isn't the only thing that's different about the two. So after we walk for a few seconds, we see that there's a puzzle, and once we solve that puzzle, you can unlock more of the map, and you get a reward. A spiky apple. And you can get other spiky fruit. That's what I like to call them. We then encounter our first open world enemies. I don't know what you call them, but I'm going to call them mini ninjas, because there are a lot of bigger versions of these enemies called ninja. Side note, when I was recording the gameplay, I found out that there's a barrier blocking you until you fight the enemies. And after one-shotting all of the mini ninjas, we collect some XP, which can be used to unlock new attacks. And there are a lot of attacks in this game, but your starter attacks, which are the homing attack, X alone will be enough to get you through the game. But I'm power hungry, so I need more attack moves. My favorite attack move is also the name of a Sonic song that I like. It has nothing to do with the game that the song is in. But the reason why I love this attack is because... yeah, I love ranged attacks. We run around a bit more, fight the real ninja, and after we parry the shit out of ninja, we get a portal gear, which is used to enter the cyberspace levels. Also, I'm sure you've heard of the Poppin being bad in this game, right? Well, this is Poppin to a whole other level, holy shit. We solve another puzzle to open the door, and we learn the Psy Loop. With this ability, you can collect rings and other collectibles by making a Psy Loop, or an infinite sign that actually gives you infinite boost, until you get hit. You can also use the Psy Loop on enemies to hinder their ability to attack you, so that you can give them a taste of their own medicine, and you can also use it for mini puzzles. And now we come to our second cyberspace level, but the Sky voice says that we need another portal gear, so I fight the tower, get a gear, and do the second cyberspace level. Oh boy, what rank did I get? Fuck. So now we exit the level, get a couple of keys, and now we see that the vault keys are used to get the emeralds. You'll need a different amount of vault keys for every emerald though. So since the emerald is out of our reach, a laser somehow makes a bridge appear so we can get across it. But who needs bridges when you can fucking boost to the other side instead? We then come across some Cocoa. Now, the Cocoa actually look like this, but I forgot I had this game on the Easter event, so they are Easter eggs. But I like it like that because they're 10 times easier to spot. Anyways, there are many Cocoa on all the islands, and even special ones that are harder to find, like this cowboy one. If you're wondering what the Cocoa are for in the game, besides looking like cute rocks, they can be used to upgrade your speed level and ring capacity. They're also a part of the story. But you can't upgrade yourself just by touching them. Instead, you'll have to find the Elder Cocoa to trade the Cocoa that you find, and then he'll give you some options to upgrade. But don't get the Elder Cocoa mixed up with the Hermit Cocoa. While the Elder Cocoa takes the Cocoa you collect and in turn gives you options to upgrade your speed and rings, the Hermit Cocoa takes the spiky fruit you collect and in turn levels up your defense and power. But now we unlock and collect the first Chaos Emerald, and then we get a really beautiful visual cutscene, and then the game tells us that we're free to explore the island, and that we should solve puzzles to avoid getting lost. And I seen this sign here. It's a time trial puzzle where you need to collect orbs and do cool things to gain points. But I honestly hate this puzzle. I don't know why I hate it, but I hate it. And I think the music sounds like every child-friendly YouTube intro ever. Welcome guys back to another episode of Sonic Frontiers, and today we'll be getting overly excited as we actually get our first S rank in cyberspace! What? After we get some vault keys for being cool, we get to unlock the second Chaos Emerald. But before we do that, we get a cutscene where we see Eggman complimenting the digital dimension he's in for being way more advanced than his own stuff. And apparently he was recording that, and so he says,
"Note to self, don't admit that to anyone."
We then find Amy inside of this capsule type thing and free her from it, with Amy's memory tokens that you can find scattered on the island. Only for some weird cyber energy to go into Sonic and Amy to be in a digitized state. And even though Sonic says that the energy he absorbed felt like a boost, this ends up slowly killing him throughout the game. And Amy comes to the realization that if she was trapped, then Tails must have been trapped as well. So Sonic says he'll look around. And then we come to fight Asura. All you have to do is run up his arms, or you can do this. I swear, this is the funniest, glitchiest fight on this island. And then beat the fuck out of his weird points on his shoulders until he explodes. Reminder to collect portal gears every time you see one. And oh right, remember the second Chaos Emerald? Well, we finally unlock it. Oh, now a cutscene is playing. Holy shit, that guy's gigantic. Oh boy, it looks like this weird digital girl is controlling the robot, and we gotta fight this gigantic guy. I wonder how this'll go. Why isn't this doing anything? Holy shit, I've got thrown into a mountain. After waking up from something we shouldn't have woken up from, Sonic realizes that he's gonna need the emeralds to slap that big robot ass. So in order to get the emeralds, we need to talk to Amy, who has a new Coco friend, cause she's a loner, and can understand Coco-wheeze. Coco-wish? Anyways, we find out that Amy's trying to help this Coco find their true love before it's too late, and Sonic agrees to help out. And then we need to gather Amy's memory tokens. Again. Yeah, you're gonna have to get used to this. Or are you? You see, scattered on the islands are these purple coins with hook engravings. What are these for, you ask? Well, if you go to certain parts of the islands in this game, you'll find these portals that look like purple cyberspace levels, but on the map it shows a fish icon. Do you know where I'm headed with this yet?
Oh, hey, Sonic.
That's right. With the purple coins, we can fish and trade our way through this collectathon of a game. Anyways, we talk to Amy again, and she says that the Coco lost her children, and asks Sonic if he can help. And in turn, we get a Sonic Adventure 2 moment.
Can you read the back here, please?
Sure thing.
Then we do the Coco mission called the Family Gathering. Let's see what this mission's all about. Okay, guide the Coco back to their mother while avoiding bombs? Despite guiding the children back to their mom while you're setting off mines. This stage isn't that hard. Then oh boy, we get the third Chaos Emerald. Holy moly, they did not need to go that hard. After that sick emerald dance, we see another cutscene where the mother Coco and her child are having one last bond, and then they die. And obviously Amy's Coco friend isn't really happy about that, but Amy reassures him that they'll keep looking. And then we need to collect Amy's memory tokens again. But since this is an open world game, we can do other things, like go into more cyberspace stages and do some SA2 rail strats. And then unlock another Chaos Emerald. And then we can talk to Amy. Wait, if there's one Amy here, why is there another Amy over here? Are they clones? Jokes aside, we talk to Amy. I mean Digital Girl, and she tells us that what we're doing is endangering the world, and refuses to elaborate. Amy tells her off by saying that Sonic is trying to reunite rocks, and the Digital Girl just gives the really face, tells us that we're ignorant, and then disappears. And then Sonic and Amy wonder who the fuck was that. We then need to collect Amy's memory tokens again, and we talk to Amy again. And she says that the Coco's love was stationed on the far side of the field, and that we can use our silent move to clear it out. And after almost dying to bee swarms, I finally completed it. Woohoo! Another Emerald Dance, baby! And when I was hopping on to record the last bit for my video, one of my friends on the VC call really wanted to be on the video, so...
Well, I think Sonic Frontiers is a pretty good game, actually. I think Skybeck will get some decent, amount of views, and the boss through is kind of hard, but easy.
Makes sense. But now we need to get some vault keys. So we go into a cyberspace level that is literally just a cyberspace version of Green Hill Zone from Sonic Generations. And woohoo, S-Rank, baby! And now we can get the 6th Chaos Emerald. But not before a cutscene where we see Eggman still in the digital dimension, but with the Digital Girl now. And Eggman tells her to keep him updated on what Sonic's up to, and to keep finding a way to get him out of digital hell. And she reassures him she's trying to find every way possible. And you'll find throughout the game that this Digital Girl and Eggman have a close bond, like their father and daughter. So now we can get the 6th Chaos Emerald from a structure that looks like an emerald by itself. And once we get the emerald, we see that the Digital Girl is talking to Eggman and saying that she can only control a few of the Ancient's relics at a time. But Eggman's more interested in getting the fuck out of the place he's in, and she says that she ran this number of simulations, and tells him that there is no safe way to remove him from cyberspace. And Eggman doesn't like that response and tells her to make it her #1 priority. And she, in turn, says this.
But keeping you safe is my priority.
After that little bonding moment, we talk with Amy again, and Sonic says that maybe they should leave the Coco alone, because they still have to find Tails. Amy then questions Sonic about his decisions, but then Sonic says he cares for the Coco, but he's also worried for Amy, due to her being in limbo, and Amy finally understands. Then we need to talk to Amy again, and we see that the Coco is still on the love hunt. But then this weird sky shield thing comes up and changes the environment to where Amy is a physical being along with Sonic. And we find out that when the environment changes, the Coco also changes well, and they turn into chaos-looking creatures. And aw, look at that! The Coco found their true love. Once they reunite, it causes an energy blast to send things back to normal. And then Amy notices that the Coco are dead. When Sonic notices that Amy's a little sad of what just happened, he tells her that they're together now, and to take a minute while he keeps moving. And you guessed it, we need to talk to Amy again. So we talk to Amy, sitting in a flower field, being constantly reminded that the logic doesn't exist when you're in a digitized state. Sonic then comes around and asks if she's still thinking about the Coco, to which Amy agrees and said that she's thinking about more. She then goes on to say that she's not sure what happened, but she knew that she saw love that transcended time, and that she believes in that power, and that whenever this is all over, she wants to share that love with the world, even if it took her far apart from Sonic. Finally! Some good Amy character development. That's one thing you'll notice about this game if you've played past Sonic games, is that the character redemption and development in this game is amazing, and so much needed, especially for Tails. I'll say that Tails got the best redemption out of all the characters in this story. Back to the subject at hand. We now see these weird locks on a pole looking thing that I literally just found out are graves have broken off. So now we can play a little puzzle, and seriously, I have no idea why or how, but when I first played this game, I solved this puzzle within a few minutes without help of a tutorial. Now I need the tutorial for this puzzle. Baby brain moment. Anyways, after doing the puzzle, it sends up a weird tower statue. We can then head up the waterfall, and no, there aren't any secrets in here. And once we reach the top, we hear this weird robotic roar. And Sonic now has a flying ability. Somehow. And he flies over the water. And then we find out where the roar came from. That's right. We get to fight Giganto. But wait, if we only got 6 emeralds, how are we gonna fight Giganto? You see, if we climb up Giganto, avoiding the red energy rings, boom, there's the 7th emerald. And oh my god, the dopamine and adrenaline is flowing through my veins! After we beat the shit out of Giganto, Ring Fit Adventure style, we pull a Taco Bell and go right through Giganto, but in the wrong way. After the boss, Sonic sees a vision of a Coco sounding somewhat in distress, saying that they'll find another way. And then once Sonic comes back to his senses, he hears the Sky voice saying that the first seal was broken, and that the next enemy is waiting for him on the sand-scarred islands. Sonic has an SMH moment, and then he looks down to see Amy doing the goofiest run ever. To be fair, how the f*** do you run with those boots? Jokes aside, Amy says that she's feeling like her old self again, and to keep going, and Sonic makes a reference to other Sonic media before he heads off to the next island, and gets shot. No, literally, he gets shot. And that's it for the review of the first island. And the reason why I only did this part of the game is because there are 5 islands in this game, and Kronos took me an estimate of 2.5 hours, so the rest of the game would take me longer, because I'm not used to the other islands much. But since that's it for this part of the game, I'm going to rank the parts of this game 1 out of 5 rings. And this is an original idea, I'm sure of it. So first off, we got story. Oh shit, we didn't complete the whole thing. But we don't need to. I have a Let's Play of this game on my channel, so you can watch that whenever you have the time. Playlist to the Let's Play will be in the description. But I'll rank the story a 4.5 out of 5. Controls. Since we know there's 2 control sets for cyberspace in the open world, I'm going to rank the cyberspace controls a 2.5 out of 5. I hate the cyberspace controls, and I'm going to rank the open world controls a 4 out of 5. It's still a little jank, but it's way better than the cyberspace controls, and it's adjustable. Combat. There's a lot of attack moves in this game that Sonic can do, but I don't think I've fully unlocked them all, and even if I did, I never really used them all because I forget 90% of the button combos for 90% of the attacks. And if I pull off a cool attack, it's most likely by accident. But since for most of the game I use the homing attack with the kick and punch, and my favorite attack being the Sonic Boom, I'm just going to rank those a 4 out of 5. Admit it, you barely use 90% of the controls they give you as well. Characters. For the characters, I'm going to talk about their redemptions and their development. So I think that Amy and Tails got the best character redemptions in this game. Not only did they change Amy from being a stalker of Sonic that doesn't care about anything else besides Sonic to an independent lady who cares for others, but they changed and saved Tails from the pit that was Sonic Forces. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And he even says in the game that he wants to go by himself when it's all over. And Sage, I think, had the best character development in a Sonic game I've ever seen. I'll let you find out why, but I love Sage's character, so I'm ranking the characters a 4.5 out of 5. And here's something I didn't talk about in my DMC2 video. Graphics. For a game that came out in 2020, this game looks pretty freaking good. By all means, it's not perfect, but it's good. Even with my settings turned all the way down so my laptop didn't have a seizure, this game's textures and modeling looks great. I'll rank the graphics a 4.5 out of 5. And here's another thing I didn't talk about in my DMC2 video because there's barely any of it in the game. Voice acting. The voice acting in Sonic Frontiers is really good. I really like how they changed Sonic's voice to sound lower pitched.
This place has taken beauty to the next level.
You tracked the Chaos Emeralds here, right? Let's find out what drew them here.
It makes Sonic actually sound his age. And the same goes with Amy. Amy's voice also sounds less higher pitched and more matured. And Eggman's acting. Holy shit, he sells his emotions great in this game. I rank the voice acting a 4.5 out of 5. Enemies and bosses. The enemies in this game are literally reskins of the enemies on other islands, but they do have some variety with enemies, but the ones you'll be fighting most of the time will be the mini ninjas. And for the bosses, honestly, they are pretty freaking good. My favorite ones out of all of them has to be either Giganto or Knight. I'll rank the enemies a 3.5 out of 5 and the bosses a 5 out of 5. And here comes my favorite part. Music. I don't know what they did to the music in this game, but I swear, the boss themes make me fucking ascend, and the other tracks are good too. But the ones you'll most likely hear if you play the game like a normal person is the cyberspace music. And yes, the cyberspace music has a completely different vibe to the rest of the game, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. Here are some of the songs I like from Sonic Frontiers.
Once we took out all the bot boats, the Game Award goes to Genshin Impact.
I ranked the music a 5 out of 5. In total, I ranked this game a 4.5 out of 5. And yeah, that's about it for the review. Sorry again if I didn't elaborate on certain parts of the game. It was hard to do because with open world games, there is no set objective that you have to complete. You can just run around completing other things, like fish. But if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel with the bell icon so that you don't miss another upload. Also comment what your favorite part of the video was, and share this video with your friends. See ya!